Had it not been for a move from Missouri to Grand Junction, Colorado in 1942, it's unlikely that Bray & Company would have existed. Sherman and his wife Roxy, along with their two sons Bob and Jack, packed their belongings and sold everything else to join other family members in Colorado. They moved to an area now known as the Redlands and continued farming. 4 years later, they moved to a modest home in the city, 344 Gunnison, and opened their real estate office in the remodeled front porch of the home, with Sherman as salesperson and Roxy answering the phones. Sherman's efforts in the real estate community inspired the local board of realtors to create in 1961 the Sherman Bray Memorial Award, given to the Realtor of the Year. Their son Bob joined the firm in 1952 and soon became the sales manager, while at the same time he became very involved in the industry and community activities, including president of the Grand Junction Chamber of Commerce, president of the Grand Junction Board of Realtors, and president of the Colorado Association of Realtors, and chairman of the local Republican Party. He was also an instructor for the University of Colorado for their real estate continuing education program, and was appointed by then-Governor Vanderhoof to a 6-year term on the Colorado Real Estate Commission. He would later be recognized by his peers as Realtor of the Year on both the local and state levels. Over his tenure at Bray, the company grew to include property management, land development, insurance and mortgage services, home building, and a commercial and investment division that put together limited partnerships. The original residential brokerage expanded beyond Grand Junction to the communities of Fruita, Orchard City near Delta, Littleton, and Greeley.
Dad, I understand one of the partnerships was involved in building an apartment complex in Durango, something like 50 units. You bought the land in Durango, you started the foundation, you let the bids, and you thought you had a loan in place. What happened after that?
Well, we came back to Grand Junction and the time we were ready to close our loan, met with Valley Federal, who gave us a written commitment, and they said, we've changed our mind.
Really?
And that was a real shocker. So what we had to do is go to Durango, put a bank to finance the construction, and a savings and loan in Cortez to finance the takeout loan.
So you got the deal finally done. It was a little tough, and today there's a beautiful apartment complex in Durango, Colorado.
It worked out great, and we made a little money on it.
Perfect. Great.
Bray established limited partnerships with investors and built apartments in the communities of Cortez, Glenwood, Montrose, and Durango, purchased residential land near Steamboat Springs, and warehouses in Rangeley, Colorado. In Grand Junction, facilities were built for a cinema and restaurant, as well as the purchase of several apartment complexes.
Dad, I understand another partnership you put together was in Steamboat in anticipation of the Winter Olympics. My understanding, you bought 1,175 acres right next to Steamboat for something above $500,000, closed on it in the afternoon, and then what happened after that?
Well, I went back to patted myself on the back and went to my hotel room at Holiday Inn and turned on the 5 o'clock news. Governor Lamb announced that the Olympics had been canceled.
You've got to be kidding.
I know, I wish I would have been.
My gosh, what an experience. So that was a little upsetting because you just closed on a $500,000 property.
Yeah.
What happened next?
Well, we've spent a couple of years subdividing it, getting it into 30-acre tracts, and finally we sold a few, enough to pay the interest on the loan. Then we had an auction after a couple of years and sold everything out in one afternoon on a Saturday.
Wow. And today that development's called Saddle Mountain Ranchettes. I was by it a couple of years ago. It's one of the prettiest subdivisions in Steamboat.
Yeah.
But at the time, what did you call it?
Well, it was Saddle Mountain Ranchettes, but before we were finished, we began to call it Saddle Sower.
Oh my gosh, what a great story.
The property management division began in the 70s as a result of needing to manage the investments of the partnerships. This soon became a significant local business model, managing residential and commercial properties for a wide range of clients. Land development began in the late 60s with a large acquisition of a parcel located in a rural area north of Grand Junction, now known as Paradise Hills. Other major subdivisions that were developed over the years included Cindy Ann, Princess Anne, Pioneer Village number 1 and 2, Country Club Heights, Mayfield, Eastmore, and Eastbrook. Home building by the company began in the mid-70s, with Bob's brother Jack serving as the builder. They built 15 to 20 homes per year over a period of 12-plus years. The Bray Insurance Division was formed in 1972 through a joint venture to serve the company's residential buyers with homeowners insurance. It quickly grew into other areas of insurance, including auto, health, and life, and became the third largest insurance company in the Valley. Bob also had a separate financial investment in Western Colorado Title, along with other area real estate brokers. Today, Bob continues as chairman of the board.
Dad, in your earlier years of selling real estate, I understand that anytime you took a listing, you always had a buyer in mind and you would call people up. Is that true?
That's true.
And I've also heard that one day you handed one of our salespeople a list of names with phone numbers and told that salesperson that call these people, they might be interested in buying or selling. Is that true?
That's true, Robert.
That's true. And what I've heard is they called that list of 10, 15 names and got 2 or 3 appointments out of it. Now, where did those names and phone numbers come from?
Robert, I got those out of the phone book.
You got to be kidding. You went to the phone book, wrote the names and phone numbers down, gave them to the person.
And the addresses.
And the addresses. My gosh, all you got to do is call somebody.
Yeah, true.
Robert entered the business in 1974 after graduating with a BS in Business Administration from the University of Denver, with a major in real estate. After working for a nationally recognized Denver appraisal firm, he returned to Grand Junction and began a residential appraisal business within the company. Expressing a desire to be more involved in the company, he soon took a position as salesperson, and later as the sales manager for the firm in 1978. The brokerage then had locations in Grand Junction and Fruita with approximately 30 associates. Robert was elected by the board to serve as president of the company in January 1982, just ahead of the Exxon pullout, May 2, 1982, and the major recession that followed. As the economy recovered, Bray once again began to grow to 3 offices in Grand Junction, as well as Fruita, Glenwood Springs, Rifle, Montrose, Delta, and Cedar Ridge. Over the years, the brokerage also transitioned from a strong independent broker to affiliating with the Better Homes and Gardens franchise network, and then returning to an independent brokerage in 2006. With the recession of 2008, the brokerage company again right-sized to its Grand Junction roots. The commercial division evolved into its own separate entity, Bray Commercial LLC. Brian Bray, Robert's son, is the manager, and the office deals exclusively in commercial transactions and is located in the downtown center of Grand Junction. The property management division today operates from 3 offices, Grand Junction, Rifle, and Montrose. Its focus is residential and commercial management and HOA management. It also operates its own in-house maintenance division.
Dad, I've heard another story over the years and I want to know if it's true, so I have to ask you. And it has to do with the company took a listing in the morning of a little house out on Orchard Mesa. And you had a couple that afternoon that expressed an interest in seeing a house like that. So you took them out, the door was locked for the listing, so you opened the window, crawled through, and gave them access to the house. I understand they loved the house. They made an offer on the house and you took the offer back that evening to show it to the seller. And what happened then?
Well, I knocked on the door and the folks were coming to the door and I thought, these folks don't look familiar. But so I stepped in anyway and I said, well, congratulations, I got your house sold. And they said, we don't have a house for sale. We don't want to sell our house. So we got confused and we finally figured it was the house next door that was listed.
You got to be kidding. It was the house next door that you essentially broke into. The people liked it and it was the wrong house.
That's true.
Did the sale go through, Dad?
No.
Land development and acquisition is led by Kevin Bray, also Robert's son, who has successfully steered the division through the last recession and into the present recovery. The newest subdivision, Summerhill, which was started in 2000, is a popular community for retirees and empty nesters. With the ebb and flow of the lending industry, Bray re-entered the mortgage business and continues to explore new opportunities in lending as well as title insurance services. A research division was created to collect market data for strategic planning, and to share those various reports with its clients. Bray also presents an annual real estate forecast. In his tenure, Robert served the industry as president of the Grand Junction Board of Realtors and as a member of the Colorado Real Estate Commission. He's been recognized locally as Realtor of the Year and by the Colorado Association of Realtors with the Distinguished Service Award. He has served as president of the Optimist Club, member of United Way and Rotary, and also as a member and chairman of the board of directors of St. Mary's Hospital. Currently, he serves as a member of the CMU Real Estate Foundation and the Strive Foundation, which serves children and adults with developmental disabilities. Bill Vretas, a local business consultant with Will Corporation, states, "Bray & Company is much more than a real estate company in Mesa County. Bray has provided hundreds of jobs and professional career opportunities for people and donated thousands of dollars in man-hours to community organizations. Bray is an exemplary corporate citizen for all its peers to aspire to."
Dad, over the last 70 years, we've had some good times and some tough times, haven't we?
Yes, that's true.
I remember back in the mid-'80s, after the oil shale bust, that you and I were sitting in your office, and Glenn Brock, our office manager, walked in at the time and said, "Bob, we don't have any money to make payroll in 2 weeks. What are we going to do?" What'd you say?
I said, well, go to the bank and borrow the money.
Go to the bank and borrow the money.
We've got to keep our people.
We've got to keep our people. And we did. And we
we
kept
did.
good people.
Yes.
And we made it through it, and good times came back.
In 2015, 25-year company veteran Lynn Thompson transitioned from CFO, COO to president of the company, and Robert continues as CEO. Robert's main concentration now is in the areas of new strategic opportunities for the company and ensuring that the Bray culture of respect and exceptional service remains strong. The Bray leadership team consists of Fran Stevens, Marketing Director, Mike Burkhard, Residential Sales Manager, Cindy Hoppy, Manager of Property Management, Kevin Bray, Land Development and Research, and Brian Bray, Bray Commercial. The company today consists of 65 associates and 45 employees in Grand Junction, Rifle, and Montrose. Another prominent businessman, Tony Prinster, president retired of City Markets, said, "It has been a pleasure for me, personally and for 3 generations before me, to do business with Bray & Company. They are straight shooters and conduct business with honesty, integrity, and competency." Bray is proud to have spent 70 years surviving and thriving through 4 boom-bust cycles: uranium, coal, oil shale, and natural gas, while continuing to provide exceptional real estate services to its clients in Western Colorado.